Hello, if you are here, it's XayLi and Aycee. Wow, that sounds like a show. We should have a XayLi and Aycee show.
Alien show.
Yes. If you guys are here, definitely say hi. Let us know that you're here. We want to connect with you. If you're not here, definitely tune in for the replay because that will be absolutely epic as well. And let us know that you're tuning in for the replay. And if you want to share, we will appreciate that too. I'm so excited today. I have a guest with me. Aycee Brown is here with us, and I'm going to have her introduce herself for a bit, or in a bit, sorry. But yeah, we're just going to have some genuine conversation. If you're here, say hello. Hello, Greta. I see people are popping in already. Hey, Rich. Listen, guys, we're going to have some really good conversation today. And yeah, without further ado, let me introduce my guest, Aycee Brown. So Aycee is a psychic channel, and she also specializes in human design, darling, right? But before I butcher that, I'm going to let Aycee take it from here and tell you exactly who she is and how she helps people.
Awesome. Well, hi everyone. I'm Aycee Brown. I am a psychic channel and spiritual confidant. I am a human design expert as well, but I help people find and navigate their spirit on the road to learning and identifying their new spiritual identity. I helped you leave your old self and welcome in the new self.
Yes. I love that, Aycee. And that's so essential, right? So many of us are stuck in old ways and old thoughts and just old ways of dealing with things and approaching things in life. And I think that it's so exciting that you have dedicated your life to helping people figure that good stuff out, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So, Aycee, what kind of people do you work with specifically?
So I work with emerging leaders, with creative entrepreneurs, some pub gears, but anyone who is really trying to step into their more spiritual self, their more spiritual life, their new spiritual identity. Many people that I work with have, former lives in the church or who have these spiritual awakenings that are happening where they know that there's something more, there's something better for them, where they are afraid to tap into their spiritual gifts. Many of us, if not all of us, do have spiritual gifts, and we get a little bit confused on how to use them. We think that we have to hang up a shingle and say that you're psychic like myself, but that might not be your calling. Your spiritual gifts you can use in the corporate arena, you can use in your business, you can use in other areas of your life. So what I do is I help people when they are at that crossroads, and I help put them on the path so they're not judging themselves, so they're not hiding behind shame, so they are embracing them, refining them, and learning how to use them in a way that is conducive to their new life or the life that they want to create.
I love that. And that kind of has me interested in thinking about business owners. How would we know when we're experiencing some kind of resistance or some kind of transformation is happening or we're at a crossroads? Like, what does that kind of feel like, if you don't mind sharing?
It's like a tiny pull. it's, it's a tiny pull where you get this kind of nudge or this feeling or this little voice that's telling you that something's wrong or there's something more or there's something inside of you that kind of feels off, or you're starting to relate to people differently. You're starting to ask questions why. You're starting to want another understanding from something to something. And that tiny pull is what kind of starts the path towards your journey to this new identity that you want to create for yourself.
Wow. Now that is super powerful because I'm sure that there are people that are feeling those tiny pulls, especially in this time of a pandemic and COVID-19 and all of these things that are happening. I think the pulls are probably a bit less tiny because we have time for self now, right? To actually tune into who we are and, things that were hidden by busyness maybe are probably pulling now.
For sure.
um,
Definitely busyness. I would say
yes.
busyness, and also just living this life of this is what you think you're supposed to be doing, thinking what you uh yeah, just this false kind of life that
Mm,
you might have thought you needed or
created.
had. Yeah.
Mm, that's super powerful. Whew. Okay, AC, I feel like you're saying something that I need to catch on to, or I hope somebody is catching on to it in the comments. But one thing I would like to know is how did you even get started with this? Like, I mean, I know the story, but I feel like, there are other people who are probably in their beginning phases of getting out there or really standing in their truths. So I kind of want to know, like, how did you get started and what brought you to the point of, I really need to share this thing?
Well, for me, I've always known I was psychic since I was a kid. My grandmother, she helps me along that. I'm what you would consider a dreamer. Many of us are, but we have very prophetic, strong, intuitive dreams.
Mm,
And so that was probably the start of it. I would know when people would call the house. I would know when people died.
wow.
And we would talk about that. So it's always been a part of me. Since I had a grandmother who was very into that, and who was very just adoring and helping me with that
Mm,
along the way. But I hit a long time when I was in high school. I had a lot of outer body experiences, a lot of spiritual things that would happen to me with my gifts, and I wanted to hide from that, and I wanted to suppress it.
wow.
So I actually did my best to suppress it through sleep pills, over the counter
Oh,
sleep medication.
wow. Are you
Yes.
serious? Whoa.
No.
That's how much you were
I mean,
running
yeah, I'm
from.
serious. Yes.
Wow.
By the time I was in college, I was on 2 and almost 3 like Tylenol or Advil PM a night. And
Wow.
this is every night. So that's how I went to sleep. So
Is
that's
it that you
when I,
were trying to achieve a deeper level of sleep so that you didn't feel like, were you
absolutely.
trying to dumb down your spiritual senses? Or I'm trying to understand, like,
Yes. So I was
ah,
trying to down them, and so they would happen at night. So it wouldn't occur.
right,
So if I could sleep through the night, then I didn't have to deal with the occurrences and the things that were happening when I was waking up or getting woken up by something. So that was a lot
right.
easier, because at the time that was my strongest kind of gift, was through my dreams, where I would be in the dream world with things and people, and I just didn't want to deal with that. So sleep medication helped.
Wow.
So that assisted me. So yeah. And I tried to
Wow.
suppress them for a really long time. And then I just couldn't stop. I couldn't keep running from it, because I think what happened was I started doing readings and giving readings to people at work, because I was always the
Mm,
person, even in high school, people will always tell them their business, be like, AC, what about this?
yeah.
And yada yada. I hold so many secrets, it's ridiculous. Even to this
Wow.
day. And so what happened, I believe I was out when someone out something, and I had given them what I had saw and what I felt, and I helped. And I was just like,
Mm,
oh, that made you feel good. Okay. So then it became not so bad, because I was like, oh, I could help people
right.
through this. Like, I gave you information to like help you not hurt
Mm,
anymore. Interesting. And
yeah.
then I had an instance where I really helped someone, and I used my gifts. Somebody made money, and I was just like, oh, okay. You made money. Okay.
That is
Made money.
amazing.
So
Wow.
that's how I kind of like re-stepped into them after a few little bit of suppressing them.
Wow. That is insane. Thank you for sharing that with us. It kind of makes me want to ask you as well. So, when I know that you're in the process of, and you're probably going to, I don't know if you're going to kill me for saying this, but you really, in the past few years, have been focused on human design and helping people through human design. But you're doing a bit of a transition now. I'm looking at the computer to make sure you're not like, I'm gonna kill you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You can go on and talk about it. Put it out in the everything.
Okay, so I want you to share a bit of what human design is, because it's crazy. I had an interview, and the reason why I'm sharing this is because we're going to talk about that transition that I'm so excited about, which is kind of where we started. And so I had an interview this morning, and I guess it'll be out soon. I'm not too sure exactly when, but that person told me that, oh my gosh, you shared Aycee in your stories. And I am so excited to find a woman of color in the space of human design, or, and it made me kind of sad because I'm like, girl, well, I don't know where, in my mind, I'm like, I don't know, where you're going with human design, as you transition, because this is all a journey, right?
Yes.
And I'll leave you to explain that. But I want to know if you can share with the people in the comments, or on the show, what is human design? And that's where I met you. And this was probably I want to say 2.5 years ago. I think so, right? You were really focused on human design. And if you can share a bit about what human design is, and then we can get into that, that would be pretty awesome.
And I'm still in human design. So let's make that clear, because human design is a line of what I do.
Exactly.
And I build off of it with my other things. And it's really, and I'm starting to see, and I understand now, it's really important for me to keep my face in human design because it's needed.
Yes.
Because people do need to see a woman of color, a Black woman in the space, thriving in the space, using the system, teaching the system, help educating in the system.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going anywhere, but I am transitioning towards tweaking human design for what I'm helping people create, which is their spiritual identities through their spiritual gifts. And like I said before, the spiritual gifting place doesn't have to be you hang up a shingle and you're a psychic or you're a clairvoyant. It's how can I use the gift of vision within my marketing business? How can I use the gift of vision within my copywriting business? How can I use the gift of vision in my brick and mortar business or my products-based business? So it's taking the gift, taking what you are doing and saying, I have this gift. This is my new spiritual identity. This is who I am now. And incorporating human design, astrology, metaphysics, and numerology into it, because that's all a part of your new identity or the identity that you're creating, and then putting it out into the world through your lens, through your eyes. A florist who has the gift of clairvoyance, she can use, or he can use that gift to create beautiful arrangements that people have never seen before. Somebody can use the gift of clairaudience, of clear hearing, to get downloads and messages for their clients on how to help them. It's not about posting up and saying, oh, I'm psychic now. You don't even have to tell anybody. It's more about you, your journey, and your spiritual identity in this new world that you're creating. I think I answered the question.
More so even a tool, right?
That's what it is. It's a tool. Yes. And so I think what you asked is, how did I find human design? I think that's what.
Yeah, no. You explained it. Well, kind of like, what is it? What is it specifically? Like, in layman's terms, someone who is totally confused or someone who is interested in hearing what you're saying, what is human design and how can it help somebody?
Okay. So human design is a combination of the I Ching, which is an ancient Chinese system, the chakra system, the Indian chakra system, astrology, metaphysics, the Kabbalah system, and it's all combined, it's all encompassing of all of these modalities. Okay. And so what human design is your personal blueprint or your personal playbook for you to actually make decisions in your life. So if you think about astrology as a finished IKEA bookcase, human design is a little instruction booklet on how to
I love
build
that.
it. So that's
Wow.
what human design is. So human design gives you, well, so in astrology, in your natal chart, it says that you could be this, you might be this, it's a chance. Human design is the how you do it. It's how you make decisions on a day-to-day basis that keep you in alignment to your truth and your destiny. And it helps you operate so you're not forcing things on an energetic level, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, on just an opportunity level. It's allowing you to say, like, for instance, I'm a projector. So invitations and recognition are extremely important to me. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to go after things. However, I'm going to show up and I'm going to shine my light. And then people will see that and they will invite me into stuff. For instance, you are a generator. So that's about you mastering something. You've mastered and you're continuing to master the video world to show us how to be masters at video. So you are in alignment with what you're doing.
Now, let me tell you that, like, even in connecting with you about human design and understanding that I am a generator, it definitely helped me. And I shared this morning, and it's so crazy that it's coming back and that you're giving back to me what I said about understanding from you that I am a generator. And it's so crazy coming back to, the conversation about you being a projector and wanting to be invited, because the person said essentially that they are a projector as well. And and that's where they had like a bit of a, well, should I show up? And I said, should I wait to be invited? And I said, well, video is a great tool for you to show up so that you can be invited. So it's so crazy that that is coming back. And, I don't know diddly squat about human design, which is why they're following you, right? Which is why it's so important for us to share things, because I shared that. And I always get in my DMs, I found Aycee Brown because you shared her, and, things like that. So it's always important for us to support others by doing things like that. But yes, so in essence, like you letting me know that I'm a generator, which is like me building and mastering things, it clicked. Like it just gave me oh, wow, this is exactly where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing. And I think sometimes we need that kind of affirmation, no matter who you are or how together you think you have it. Or like Aycee says, she works with leaders, and, public figures and creatives, right? And so all of those buckets, you end up in places where you're like, well, am I going the right way? What should I be doing next? Am I operating in my zone of genius and all of that stuff? So I feel like tools like these are super important and essential. And I just want to thank you publicly for your work and what you've dedicated your life to doing, because, you're affirming for so many other people or helping so many other people to solve that problem. And that's what business is. It's really you solving a problem, that people have. And I think it's so important for us to show up in that, because you can be the biggest problem solver there is, depending on how you show up, right? Like just
that
showing
is
up
true.
and sharing your gifts.
No, you're right. And that's what I want to do.
God.
That's my mission.
Yeah,
to do that.
That is so powerful.
Show up.
I know. Okay, so Aycee, you came to me a few years ago, and I just kind of want to backtrack to, because I see two completely different people, but I want to know if you see two completely different people in that whole space or realm of, the journey of it all. Like I remember, I'm going to ask you, like, do you see a difference in, your growth now and where you started when we first started working together as it pertains to showing up in the online space?
Absolutely. And so I came across XayLi. I was on a podcast, um, the Monique Malcolm's podcast, and
Yes.
you were on the podcast as well. And I heard you, and I was just like, who is this girl talking about video? This I ain't getting on video and all of this stuff. And I was just like, wow, I should reach out to her. Like I had just a strong kind of like, let me reach out to her. And so I reached out to you, and I don't know if what happened. We started interacting, and you were like, yeah, you need to get on video. And I was just like, no, I can't. I can't get on video because this is, and so I have a background in TV and film production. I have my master's NYU School of Continuing Professional Studies in TV and film. And so I know lighting, I know editing, I know a lot of technical things to make things look the way I want them to look if I was producing something for someone else. And so because I couldn't do that for myself right away, I was like, well, then I can't be on video because I can't make it look the best that I would want it to look. And so I remember you saying that doesn't matter. And I was like, yes, it does. I need lights. I need a new camera. I need all of these things. And you just were like, no, just the content is more important. I was just like, she's lying. That's not true. The content
She definitely did say that.
It's not more important. And so I literally, because I would never show my face on video. I didn't show my face on
pictures either. You had one filtered picture, like
nothing.
Yeah.
And then I said, all right, I'm going to start in my Instagram stories because I knew stories would be, they would be gone after 24 hours. So that left me off the hook. And at the time, stories didn't have all those functions. You could, do all this stuff with them and all, share them away and all of that stuff. So I was like, fine, I'm going to start in stories. It's going to be really simple. So I just started doing aura affirmations for each of the human design auras, and I started doing them every day. And
I remember challenging you to do that. And you were like,
I was struck. I was
I'm gonna do it every day. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, so just cracking up. Like, people are gonna see me.
And I'm like, yeah, that's
like,
the
point. Right. You're like, that's the point. I was like, okay, fine. So I started showing up in stories, doing the aura affirmations every single day. And then I found out people would start sharing them. And I was just like, what? They're sharing them. And I was just like, so freaking like scared. And so as I started showing up more on video, people started finding out about me more. And of course, everything that XayLi says about video, just listen to her. It's true. You establish trust, likability, all of that stuff. People feel good, safe with you. All of that, whatever it is that she says about video is so true. Because I built my business, and my business like kind of built a lot. And then I started showing up in video on my timeline, and then I did a YouTube video, and then I'm like doing all this video now. And so video, and I'm still not where I want to be video wise, which I'm going to do more of, but it literally has changed my life. And XayLi, you've changed my life, but you know that already, just helping me show up on video, because I think for what happens, why people don't show up on video, because it is a lens. You can't really fake video.
Yeah.
No matter how hard you try, you can't fake it. So what you see, my personality, I curse in my story. I'm not gonna curse here because it's the YouTube, so we want to keep that. But I'm my most authentic self, because you don't have time to manipulate the imaging when you show up on video. Even if you are reading from a script, things like that, you still bring your personality, you still bring something to the video, because there's no room there for you to fake it. And that's why video is why it is and where it's going. So yeah.
That is so powerful. Wow. I even want to talk about your community seeing you showing up on camera. Like when I met Aycee, like she would feature celebrities on her. Do you remember that, Aycee? Like you would feature like you were doing like featuring celebrities based on their human design, and it was so beautiful. But there was nothing of her, like where are you? We want to see you, we want to get to know you. And now when you look at Aycee's Instagram, it's only Aycee.
All
And
me, a lot of me.
for me, that gives me goosebumps every single time I look at her account. I get goosebumps. And so even if I do share her in stories or whatever it is, because what she says hits, okay, she reads you to filth, okay, with her. So, but I feel like it's so much more powerful because now I'm referring someone, because that's what stories are, or that's what sharing is. And you get to instantly decide if you like this person or if you don't like this person, or if you're here for this or you're not here for this. And that's the beauty of video content. But even in terms of that, Aycee, I kind of want to even dig deeper, because you have also been able to now live full time in your purpose and continuing to just touch people. Do you feel like video had a play in that, or do you feel like, yeah, that's my question.
Yeah, absolutely. And video had a huge, huge, huge part in me being able to transition full time into my business. Because if it wasn't for video, people wouldn't be able to connect with me. People wouldn't trust paying me. People wouldn't want to know more. And this is for anybody who is trying to go full time in their business. The video is helping you build community. It's helping like and trust and all of that stuff. But what it is it's making people kind of, I don't want to say buy in, but they're coming into your sphere, coming into your essence, into your realm of wanting more from you. If my community, if I could just show up live every day for 2 hours and answer questions, they would probably love that. But I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy.
They would eat that up.
So,
but then they would eat you up.
Right. But because of me being live and showing myself on video, like I've had people even recently say, oh my gosh, because I'm on Clubhouse. And people like, oh, you got to watch Aycee on live because you get to put the voice to the face and it's really magical. And I'm like, we just, having a little spiritual chit chat, nothing major, but it's impactful. Video has and really changed my business. And I know that it's going to do more because I'm going to show up more in video. And I was at a point, and I'm sure some of you who are watching this, who are watching the replay, you are concerned with the logistics, the who, the what, and the how it looks per se. But I promise you, and I can just say that from my own testimony, don't worry about that. Like, no, listen, don't worry about that. I got a hula hoop in my back. It's junky. I got balloons up. I don't give a crap about that.
Yeah. I'm just laughing because it's so different from the person that came to me.
I was
so concerned. Yes. I love it. I love it.
But it's true. Even if you watch, there's even YouTubers that I watch who are literally on a white wall every video.
Yes. Or using their phone.
And I watch all the time. I can't get enough. I'll sit there and watch a 30-minute video of them talking. And they're literally just on a background wall with probably a ring light, and they're showing videos or whatever they're doing, and they're just talking about stuff. And I'm just like, oh, this is perfect. Like when I make my setup, it's going to be very simple. I'm stepping it up a little bit, but you're here.
You can keep doing that as you go and as you grow. And that's why, I'm so passionate about the starting, the shooting, and the growing of it all. Like, it's just not, like I said this morning on a live with Thinkific, if you aren't showing up now with your phone, do not buy equipment. I don't advise that.
Listen, I could tell y'all listen,
I completely forgot.
I got a brand new camera because somebody brought me a camera. And I was like, yes, I got my camera now. It's on and popping. I've been using my phone all the time. Like I'm usually on Instagram or but I'm gonna be breaking out my camera though for my
Yeah.
YouTube. But you like just start with what you have. It's really
Yeah.
that simple.
And then that kind of makes me even want to dive deeper. Like, let's talk about, first of all, let me kind of backtrack. We're obviously talking about Aycee being a part of the Start, Shoot, Grow Video Academy, and now she's in the mastermind itself, right? Which is a different tier of what we do because as you grow, you're going to need different things, especially as you grow in business. So I want to talk about that too, Aycee, like just the business of it all and the strategy that we, talk about and come up with, just to make sure that even though you're recording with purpose, with intention. You're working in alignment with the bigger picture that you have for you, because video burnout is a real thing, right? You can definitely be creating content and not seeing anything come from it, because you aren't, either being consistent or showing up with a plan behind the whole thing,
Yeah.
right?
So, and that's the academy, the mastermind is essential just for that, because helping plan out that is super important. And so what happens is that you just want to create videos, because that's what my idea was. Like, I'm just going to create videos. And XayLi was like, no, you're not. And I'm just like, I just want to create videos. Why do I have to have a plan? Why do I have to have this? Even though on my YouTube channel, I only have 2 videos up there right now, I still get people messaging me about those 2 videos.
Mm.
Like, oh my gosh, this helped me so much. Or even
Wow.
my stuff on Instagram, this helped me so much. So it's all,
Yes.
you're planning and you're doing what might seem tedious and annoying. It's literally for the benefit of you and your business, because especially like I have a podcast. People ask me the same human design questions all the time. I just
Yes.
refer them to my podcast. I have
Mm.
50 episodes. Have a ball, because
Yeah.
or have a blast. Go in,
Yeah.
talk about that, do all of that, have a blast. And so what you're doing is video is helping you build your body of work.
Mm.
It's helping you to have your own kind. Yes, it's for the other people, but really what it is for you is you're building your
Mm.
own catalog, like you're a rapper. Like
Ooh.
you're building your own catalog of stuff. And
Yes.
so the goal is to build your own catalog within your niche, within your brand. So not only can you see how far you've come at one point, but you can also refer people back to your first couple of albums. Like, oh, go
Mm.
listen to the first album. I talked
Exactly.
about that there,
Yes.
because
Mm.
of course you're not going to be like speaking from that place now. So it's just
Mm.
video. In the mastermind and the Start, Shoot, Grow Academy is great, especially for you to like self start and to get going and to have a plan, because a lot of the YouTubers and the people who are really mastering content, it looks easy to us because they show up, they know what they're doing, all of that stuff, but there's something behind it. You're not just making
Yeah.
25,000, 50,000 a month on YouTube
Yes.
by a fluke, like, oh, I'm just gonna show up and open up my camera. No, it's a process.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And like even like having something other than like Google AdSense is great. Don't get me wrong. But last night I was actually speaking about the fact that what I was making with Google AdSense last year, it's declined like right now, because people are leaving, the house now. People are kind of starting to get back out
mm,
there. So, yeah, like, so it's like last year, everything was popping because people were out, in the house. Like everything increased, the viewership increased and all of that. So your amount that you were making increased. But now, there's a decrease because, it's less of a, people are starting to live life again, or the vaccine is out, so people
crazy.
are out
Sorry.
doing things, and things like that. Like, so now the ad budgets that were completely on YouTube, and this is my thought, are probably being spread out in other places again. Like, now people are on the roads, so now we can put up billboards again and things like that, things that weren't essential. Even for me, like I live in a high rise, and so I remember like I would see every 2 weeks they would change out, like there's another tall building across from me, they would change out that sign every 2 weeks, like, and it would catch my eye because I'd be like, when did they come change this? It's so magical, because I never caught it. I never
You
caught
never
them
saw it.
right. So it's just like magic. Oh, there's a new sign out there. And it's a huge, tall building that I'm talking about. And so I realized that during COVID, they did not change it. That one person got that spot for months, almost a year, because there was no traffic.
Probably.
Yes. So things like that. Now the sign is back to changing again, right? Like I said, I live in a high rise. I can see the highway from my apartment. And so the streets are busy now. Like everything is like back on. I remember last year, so people were inside. So that's where ad budgets were spent. And I think it's really important for us, and this is something I preach all the time, having your own product, right? Having your own thing that you can actually sell, whether it is a slew of workshops, whether it's an online course, whether it's an event, whether it's an ebook or whatever that thing is. I believe in also placing that as an ad inside of your channel.
Mm-hmm.
So that you are able to create dual income, or even work with sponsorships or brands, or so you can create triple or quadruple income, but diversifying that stream.
Like how you explained it is just like a bonus. That's what AdSense is, because even look at some of your favorite YouTubers, right? So there was this one astrology person who I super love her, and for a while she had nothing to sell me. And I'm like, what is going on? Why didn't she have anything? I want to buy something from her, just because, not even really because I didn't know. Well, this is a twofold kind of interjection. One, not because I knew that she was going to tell me something super different than I didn't already know, but I just wanted to buy because I wanted to support. I've been watching her videos. I like the way she delivered information. So that's
most people. Yes.
Right. Number two is, when we get caught up, is, do we have a space and a place in our niche, in our brand, in video? Somebody wants to hear it from you. Like I said, I know a lot about astrology, but I like the way this person specifically talked about a certain thing. So I wanted to buy that from her. Not because I didn't know, like I can read somebody else's astrology chart, but her way of delivering it is different. And I started thinking about that recently in the community that I work in spirituality. It's not, we're all essentially McDonald's online. There's a McDonald's on every corner, but McDonald's business model, actually, because I know someone who owned one, is when you go to their little training thing, they say if we can put a McDonald's on one corner and another one on the next corner, like literally right across the street from each other, both of those McDonald's will make $1 million.
Yes.
Literally. Yes. Because people want to buy from you. And even though you're selling the same thing as someone else, people might like how you deliver it better.
Yes.
Trust me, it's mind blowing to me, even though I kind of knew this, but the understanding of this is that you're not really selling your thing, you're selling you.
Yes.
And that's the thing that you can't control. But what you control is how you show up, when you show up, your consistency, all of that stuff. People are buying you. So there's going to be some people that like you and some people that don't. And you can't control that.
Yes.
And so that's what video does. It just puts your name in the hat, and some people will fall in love with you, and some people you will just rub the wrong way for whatever reason inside of them, that they just don't like you. And that's not your problem. Like, that's not your problem. It's literally not your problem.
It really isn't. Aycee, it was so amazing talking to you. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. I really, really, really and truly appreciate it. And I just want to know if you would recommend somebody join the Start Shoot Grow Video Academy. Like, do you think it's something that, someone should do, or?
So this is why you should join the Start Shoot Grow Academy, because you're going to get the confidence to be on video. You're going to have a plan to like build your brand. Video is not going anywhere. Don't let Atlanta, Dallas, and Florida fool you. There's a pandemic, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
we need to realize that people are still going to be inside.
Yeah.
Video is going to be the
Yeah.
only method to convey your message, your brand, and you need a plan and you
Mm.
need a system so you can help yourself to build that business. You can have $100,000 business. You can have $1,000,000
Mm-hmm.
business. These are things. The only difference between 100,000 business and what you do and $1,000,000 is literally systems. That's it.
Simple.
And
Exactly.
Grow Academy helps you with the systems and
Yes.
on a video playing field. And then you'll get used to doing video. Then you can do video courses. You can do so much with video.
Yes.
So I recommend it for everyone. I recommend the mastermind for everybody,
Yes.
all of that. So,
Thank you, Aycee. You're over here making me blush, but I really, really, really appreciate you coming on. And
thank you for having
yeah, I feel we should do this again because this was so much fun.
me.
Guys, the academy is open until Friday, so you want to definitely head over to startshootgrow.com and you'll get all of the information there that you need. And if you have any questions at all, please send me a message, send me a DM, whatever works for you. Send me an email, send me a pigeon, whatever it is. Now, before I close out, I just want to ask Aycee, where can we find you and tap into your goodness? I'm a mess, Aycee Brown. Where can we find you, Aycee? Where can we connect with you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Aycee Brown, of course. You can find me on YouTube. Just go and subscribe. Just go in and do it. Videos is coming. At Aycee Brown. It's Aycee Brown over there. And you can find me house at Aycee Brown and at my website on ayceebrown.com. Make sure you're on mailing lists for all sorts of good stuff.
Exactly. Thank you, Aycee. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You guys are absolutely awesome. Shanna, this is Restream. Yes, it's Restream. It's been fun. It's been fun using it, right? What do you think about it, Aycee?
I love Restream. It seems cool. I'm going to be using it.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, guys, I love you. And I will be live later on. So if you have any questions, you can definitely ask me them in there. Follow Aycee. She's amazing. She is one of the gems of the internet, or in the internet space. I should say of the internet. Yes, girl, of the whole internet.
Of
so
the
definitely
internet, in the internet.
Yes, the whole thing. So make sure you follow Aycee over at Aycee Brown on Instagram. I think she's most active there. Like, she has tons of videos, tons of content for you to dive into. And
and my podcast too.
And her podcast, which is also on YouTube, right, Aycee?
Yeah, my podcast is on YouTube too. Yes, is my my podcast. Duh, yeah.
Girl, hello.
I'm forgetting about my podcast.
And I even have an episode on there. So
yes, Zayli's on my podcast too. Yes, you can listen to Zayli's episode on my podcast.
Yes. All right, guys. Love you, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Bye.